¿En qué trabaja usted?
¿En qué trabajo? ¿En Estados Unidos?
Acá.
Guys, they're taking me. I got pulled over. Buenas noches. Drifterooski, look at that waterfall. All right, guys. Normally I have a little bit of beef with Mexico with their rivers, just because I hate to say it, but they are mostly contaminated. Any water source that's running, any like river source kind of close to a town, normally has got tons of trash in it, and it's unfortunate. But now that we're out here in the middle of nowhere, look at this river in Oaxaca, man. This is beautiful. This is like really nice. Check this out. Look how clear it is. Oh. ¿Dónde estaban cuando ustedes lo encontró ellos?
Detrás de unas piedras.
Atrás de unas piedras. These guys are all from where I got the pineapple from. Look at all those mangoes right there. Now they're gonna wait for a truck to go up. It's interesting being here and these people seeing me. They're very quiet, very reserved. Wow, beautiful. But very quiet, very reserved. I think half of it is they're pretty much, in shock maybe a little bit to see me. And I think it's basically comes down to the fact that they can tell immediately I'm not from here, so they're kind of like, what are you doing here? Who are you? Should I talk to you? Are you not? Like, are you? It kind of feels like that, they just literally don't know. They're like, why are you here? And anyways, it's just kind of interesting. But they spoke good Spanish. They spoke Spanish, but still they got that that very quiet, kind of almost concerned kind of vibe going on. They ask very little questions, but it's almost like they can't help it, but it's like they want to ask, but they're just nervous about it, because they just don't know what's going on. But wow, we are in a little bit of a little tropical going on right here. All these bananas. I'll probably just ride for about an hour more. I don't think I'll make it to the really big town. I think we're gonna call it early and try to maybe camp out over here. I just want to make sure there's no houses over here. To veer off or to not veer off? This just doesn't look like anyone's been on this for so long. Okay, we're just gonna go look a little bit. So far, I'm not a fan, guys. Looks like it's just dropping. Just dropping. My topographical. Oh. It says it does go to a flat spot right there. Maybe just walk it. Yeah, I'm gonna walk it. Put a tent right there. Put a tent right there for sure. Here is better, but you can see it from the road. I saw this house in the distance. If I can talk to him. I want to ask somebody if I can camp on their property, but wow. Went to the church right there, and their little presidential kind of building, municipal building, and talked to about 4 guys. One of them was pretty cool, and then there was another guy, and he was not super like about me being there. He was kind of just like, you could tell he was thrown off. And the the other guys were just quiet. And then I asked them about camping out here. And I said, do you think that would bother anyone? And they said, no, that's not the problem that you would bother us. The problem is that someone would bother you. So I asked if there was a hotel, and they were like, no. And not super inviting. It's unfortunate because this is such a beautiful area. Kind of sketch feeling. Oh my gosh, it's every dog. Switch to pavement. Ahí está. Entonces hoy empecé en Tlapa, bajé por todo eso, la Amarillo. Después vine por el Piña.
San Juan Piña.
San Juan Piña.
Este lado.
Allí me compré piña también.
¿Ah, sí?
Sí, comí
bueno.
con algunas personas.
Sí.
Y después bajé por todo y hablé con algunos señores allá en, a ver cómo se llama, ahí está, se llama, bueno, no jala, oh, sí tengo internet, pero se ve la morada, ¿no? Me bajé y hablé con algunos señores en este pueblito y ya.
¿En qué trabaja usted?
¿En qué trabajo? ¿En Estados Unidos?
Ajá, acá.
No trabajo aquí.
No viene usted a pasear nada más.
¿A pasear?
A pasear.
Sí.
Bueno, nomás lo que dicen los compañeros es que cuando entras a un pueblo, más despacio.
Más despacio, ok.
Velocidad.
Ok.
20 por hora. Despacio. Porque viene recio, puede salir mochito, lo vas a tropezar.
Más tranquilo.
Más calma y más allá abajo. Ese era todo, ¿no? Yo soy autoridad de aquí.
Ok.
Por eso le aviso
Mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto.
Landon.
Igualmente.
Yeah, man, they got the radios out here. Freaky. That guy was super tense. Super tense. Yeah, that guy was definitely affiliated. Wanted to know where I was coming from. You know, it's a little messed up and corrupted when he wants to know what you do for work right away. What do you work around here? Oh yeah. Why are you here? Who do you work for? No, I stopped you because you were going fast. So, you know, first question, who do you work for? Where do you work? Let's get the heck out of here, guys. But I gotta go slower by the houses. Let's freaking get out of here. Guys, they're taking me. I got pulled over. ¿Con él? Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
¿Dónde está la otra moto? ¿O no?
No, es moto, claro. Aquí subes para arriba, mira. Ahí esa entrada que está ahí.
¿Quiere que yo me voy sin ustedes o cómo?
No, aquí entra, ya está aquí.
Oh, aquí.
Es que le dije yo que lo pusiera así a tu nombre. Ahí arriba, salsita. ¿O quieres pasar a sentarte a la mesa?
Ah, mejor.
¿Sí?
Pero vamos todos, ¿no?
Sí,
vamos.
Vamos.
¿Puedo darlo a ellos? Sí.
Sí, gracias.
Buenos días, amigos. No están tan chido, pero es algo.
Sí, gracias.
¿No? Sí,
¿Ya te
de
vas?
nada.
¿Ya te vas?
Sí, ya tengo que ir.
Dale.
Sí.
Gracias.
Les voy a leer unas palabras.
¿Ya? ¿Ahora sí? Listo.
Ahora sí.
Actividades.
Amigos, mucho gusto. Gracias por todo. Sí.
Actividad de flotillo.
Oh, God. What an experience. Modelo de vigilancia. What a crazy place, guys. What a crazy place. Notice how everyone's going super slow. Well, this guy just passed me. That was definitely the most, I mean, I've been stopped, but this was definitely the most. Oh, the most they've taken me in, and the most they've been worried about me. Threatened by me, you know. And yeah, it's crazy. Alright, guys, I'm ready to talk about what happened now that I'm kind of out of the town and a little bit less things to focus on. But it boils down to 3 different occasions that where I was talking with, you know, where I came across people. The first one was I was still pretty much out in the mountain. Well, I mean, we're in the mountains, but I was still really far out. I'm not gonna say locations because this is actually, you know, a part of the problem of what I'm doing by filming. It's part of the worry that these groups have. You know, they don't want the whole area being documented in a way that other people can gather helpful information to use against them, right? That's the only way that I can show that, you know, that's the way I feel comfortable, I should say. I could go against it, but it's literally a conversation I had last night where they, after explaining that to them, they told me I didn't have to erase my footage. So I got to keep all my footage because I was able to explain to them and help, you know, calm them down and just say, hey, I'm not giving specifics. So the first situation, I arrived to this town in the middle of nowhere. I see this beautiful church, like in the mountains. I mean, we'll see the footage. Also, it's about 6 o'clock, 6:10. So I'm in my window where I need to find a spot to sleep. Whether it's asking someone if I can put my tent outside their house or something, or, you know, just normally my question is, I go up to someone and I say, hey, do you think people mind if I camp out here? And most of the time people say no. No, they say, no, there's no problems with that, you know, just Go ahead. This time, I was not received well. There was 4 guys. One was cool. The other was not so friendly. And then the other 2 didn't say a word. But the not so friendly guy, you know, he seemed like he was in charge. And anyways, he was, immediately you can feel it. And it's body language, right? You see how big their eyes get. You can see the feeling, the thoughts running through their head. Why in the world is this guy here? You know, is this person a dangerous guy? Like, should I be grabbing my gun right now? Like, and you know when you see all the walkie-talkies on the table that they're in charge of maintaining order and watching over the area. And so anyways, long story short, basically this guy tells me, no, you're not welcome to camp here. Where'd you come from? How'd you get here? That all happened, obviously. No, I stayed very calm. I didn't act like anything was wrong. You need to go to this town. It's about an hour and a half. They have hotels there. We don't have hotels here. And he's like, but you need to hurry. You need to get over there because it's about an hour and a half, and it's 6. The night's gonna catch up to you. So I listened, and I was hauling. You know, I was going pretty fast. And now this is what I don't know. I don't know if that guy called ahead on the walkie-talkies and just said, hey, pull this guy over, check him out, or what. But the next time I got stopped by a person, I actually have that on video, and I showed that. And the second guy, he stopped me in the road. I didn't get that on video. He didn't say anything about, hey, I'm stopping you because of this. His first questions were, where do you work? Where's your work? What's your job? What's your job? And I was just like, what do you mean? And he's like, here. I'm like, no, I'm just traveling. He's like, no, what's your job? And he didn't really grasp. I had my helmet on, but I don't know. I don't think he understood that I wasn't Mexican. I think he was, lived in an indigenous community. Spanish was his second language, and maybe he couldn't see the faults in my Spanish because his Spanish wasn't 100%. Okay, maybe he's Mexican, but the moment I talk, people know he's not from here. So that was like his first thing, and I go, no, es que voy paseando. He says, where are you coming from? The whole thing. But after all this conversation, and I didn't even have the whole conversation recorded. After all of it, he goes on to say, you were going fast. That's why I stopped you. They called ahead and said you were driving really fast. Well, then I explained to him, I said, well, that's because they told me I needed to get out of here. And he's like, I'm the authority here. I'm the authority here. What happens if a child runs out? He starts talking to me like that. I'm like, whoa. In my head, I'm like, whoa. Listen. Let's be clear here. You're not that mad that I was going fast. You're worried about who I am. Obviously I didn't say that, but. And now we come to the third and final interaction. Cruising through this town, I finally get to the place that has the hotels where I'm gonna spend the night. And so I'm going down this long road, and I can see the police lights in the distance. And so I make sure I'm going very slow. It's kind of dark at this point. Well, then I pulled over on the side of the road because I noticed everyone was just going so slow, and it was just like kind of weird. There's a few cars, and it was just like really, really slow. So I was like, I'll just stop. I'll look for my hotel here, and that way. So I pull over on the side of the road, and I start looking for a hotel. And as I'm looking for a hotel, you know, I finally find one. Everything's good. I start my bike and I start to leave. And then all of a sudden I hear a whistle, like a whistle, and I look back and it's the police. And I'm like, oh shoot, okay. Like he was like walking towards me. He was like pretty close, but not quite, you know, not quite there yet. So he says, come here, come here. We kind of start talking, and I didn't have anything recording. And then eventually he comes up, and he's like, what's going? And then the whole deal over again. Who are you? Where are you coming from? You know, they called ahead. They said, you know, we're looking for you. Then he starts saying, he's like, you gotta, you know, he's like, where are you coming from, man? He was pretty aggressive. He had a gun, right? He was in police. He's like, you're from America, but you gotta know where you can go and where you can't go, man. You gotta know that. And then I told him, I said, if you need to find out better who I am, or whatever you need to do to me, let's do it. Because I don't have anything to hide. You know, whatever you want to do, let's do it. I got nothing to hide. And he says, all right, well, you need to come with us. You need to come with me. We'll go get you something to eat, is what he said. He said, you need to come with me. He said, we're right over here. We'll take you over here, and they're gonna check you out. From there, I turn around, and that's when I turned on my GoPro. And I got brave enough just to record a little bit, just at least so you guys could see, you know. I didn't know what was gonna happen at that point. I didn't know if they were calling in the bosses and what, you know. Time to straighten this dude out. Time to take this guy's thing. I didn't know what was going on. I felt like he just wanted to get me back to their base so they could just ask me some more questions and kind of, you know, interrogate me a little bit more with other people. And so anyways, and this whole time he's on the walkie-talkie and he's calling in these codes. And he's talking to people on the walkie-talkie, 49, you know, or whatever. And he's talking to people, and I can hear what they're saying in Spanish, you know. And they're like, this guy, it's him, it's the one we're looking for. And, you know, talking like that. So they take me to the base, and then, like, they all start showing up. You know, first I'm talking to, like, 4 people, and then the truck shows up, the police truck that I passed shows up. And there's like another 3, and they just all start showing up. And long story short, I just held my composure and just tried to, you know, laugh and be, you know, hey, I mean, act like there's just absolutely, there's nothing going on, you know. And they started little by little kind of warming up to me. And then they started asking me questions about my trip, and so I started, you know, showing them pictures. They started getting really interested. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I love being out in the mountains, you know. I start saying, yeah, this guy up in the mountains in Sinaloa, he took me fishing. I stayed there, stayed overnight with him and his family. Like, it's been amazing. And so anyways, little by little, the conversation just takes a turn, and it goes from interrogation to hanging out, and to them agreeing with me, and yeah, you know, it's awesome what you're doing, love what you're doing, good for, you know, happy for me, and just intrigued, very, very intrigued. And you know, nothing. I love it here, and I, you know, it's things I was telling them. I'm like, I love it here. Ultimately, I feel a responsibility to take care of myself, but I also feel like I have faith in Mexico. And if something bad happens, you know, it is what it is. But we had a great night. All of us hung out together. They asked tons of questions. They started talking about the YouTube channel. They started looking me up online, and they're laughing at, you know, different photos I had, and then they're like, "Hey, you can stay here." They said that pretty early on. This was before we started hanging out, like, for a long time. But they're like, "You know, if you'd like, you're welcome to camp here, just here in the center of town, next to their station, their base." I'm like, "Okay." And they're like, "I mean, you're welcome." They're like, "You're welcome to get a hotel, but if you want, you can put your tent out here, and nothing's gonna happen to you out here. We're always out here 24/7. So all throughout the night, you'll have somebody watching over you." And I'm like, "Okay." And I put my tent out, and then they're like, "You want to take a shower?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I got to use the showers that they use. No, it was crazy cool. But yeah, then we hang out, and they're like, "Yeah, you can take a shower." I took a shower, and they're like, "Yeah, you want to? Let's eat dinner." They're like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "Whatever." And they're like, "Well, we got tacos over here." And I was like, "All right, yeah. I mean, whatever is close, you know, we can walk to." And they're like, "No, we'll just call it in." And they bring it to us. Okay. So we all ordered our tacos, and they bought me a Coke, and they paid for it all, and super kind. We hung out till about 11 o'clock at night. Maybe 11. We hung out till about 11:30 at night, and then I went to bed. Slept great. Woke up and started my day today. So, really long explanation, but honestly just crazy.